Poaching is the taking of game without the landowner's permission. Game can be fish such as salmon or trout, or birds like pheasant, partridge or grouse, and mammals like hare, rabbit or deer. Really any animal that can be taken for food or sold on to be made into food. The animals that are taken are not usually rare or endangered, but there are other issues at stake with poaching. Cruelty to the animals being poached and their theft from the person who owns the land. It might seem strange that wild animals can be stolen from someone, but only the landowner has the right to take animals from their land, and it is against the law to take an animal without the landowner's permission. Poachers take game for a number of reasons. It might be to sell to friends, family, or to butchers and hotels. They might take it to eat themselves or to feed to their dogs. They may even carry out poaching simply as fun, sometimes called sport. Game can be legally taken by the landowner or someone with the landowner's permission, providing they do so in a safe and humane way and within the rules of the law. In fact, the game industry in Scotland is worth millions of pounds. People pay to spend time in some of Grampian's spectacular countryside and shoot a deer or grouse or fish for salmon. They are usually accompanied by highly trained stalkers, gamekeepers or hunting and fishing guides called gillies to ensure that the guest gets the most out of their day while the animal is taken in the safest and most humane way possible. Gamekeepers, stalkers, guests and experienced shooters would never fire their rifle or shotgun if they thought it was unsafe or likely to miss their target. But poachers don't play by the same rules, which can make for a dangerous situation. The aim of the poacher is to bag the game as quickly as possible and get away without being caught. So while a stalker and guest might spend all day looking for the right deer to shoot, perhaps a weaker or older deer, and make sure they can do it without the deer suffering, the poacher, on the other hand, is careless and often unskilled. This, together with their lack of any proper training, means the game poachers take often suffer a long and cruel death. Poachers will sometimes shoot deer with rifles that are not powerful enough to kill the deer outright. This means that they must shoot them many times before the unfortunate animal eventually dies of its injuries. Poachers have even been known to shoot deer with crossbows, shotguns or air rifles and hunt them with dogs. Hare coursing is another type of poaching that involves dogs to chase and catch brown hares. Brown hares are a lot like their cousin the rabbit, only bigger with a lot longer legs. They can run very fast to get away from danger and are most often found in large grassy fields or those with crops, and this is typically where coursing takes place. Hares don't dig burrows like rabbits, but make a hollow in long grass instead, known as a form. This makes them an easy target for coursers, as the hare can't escape from the pursuing dogs by bolting down a burrow. Once caught, the hares are either killed by the dogs and left, or taken away to be eaten by the dogs. Hare coursing is an example of a blood sport, where the aim is not to kill an animal so that it can be sold for profit, but simply a form of fun for the poacher. However, money can still be involved, as hare coursers will often place bets to see which dog will be the first to catch and kill the hare. Hunting hares with dogs was banned in Scotland in 2002, and as well as killing the hare, the landowner or farmer can be threatened with violence if they speak out against the hare coursers. The last type of poaching we'll look at is the taking of fish, and in particular, the poaching of salmon. The Dee, Don and Spey are excellent fishing rivers for both trout and salmon, but poaching for salmon lowers the numbers of fish in these rivers. Less fish can be bad news for wildlife, such as otters, which might rely on them for a meal, and bad news for the genuine anglers who pay to fish the rivers responsibly. Lots of rivers in Scotland run a catch and release scheme. This means that after a fish is caught and weighed, it is carefully released back into the river. This helps keep salmon stocks healthy, but still allows the anglers to enjoy fishing. Salmon poachers are no different to deer, game bird or hare poachers, and just like them, they don't care about the welfare of the animals they are taking. Some of today's poachers operate on a big scale, netting the whole river to catch fish, introducing poisons which starve the fish and other animals of oxygen, using large hooks or rippers to grab fish, and even electrofishing, putting electricity into the water to electrocute the fish. Whether it be deer, hare or fish, poachers all share a common disregard for the welfare of the animal, safety of the public, and rights of the landowner. What types of animals are commonly poached? Why is poaching illegal? What crimes are the poachers committing? Why do poachers kill and take animals without permission? What are the outcomes of poaching? Who are the victims? What does welfare mean? Are there any clues that you can look out for to tell that poaching has taken place? What do you think you should do if you come across someone who you suspect is poaching deer, fish or hare in the countryside?